Hi, I'm Ervad C.A. Xerxes Vispi Dastur and I'm standing for this Bombay Parsi Panchayat election. When I was elected in 2018, I had made a few promises that I would give up my term before the term expired, and hence I've given up 3.5 years of my term. My colleagues, Armighty Tirandas has given up 1.5 years. My other colleague Viraf Mehta has given up 6 months. We are doing this so that we can now come back to the community and get elected in like-minded people who can work together on a board. One of the things I realized in 2018 is that our scheme of election, where our trustees themselves were actually in charge of the election, was not correct. I had a few challenges, but I still managed to get elected. But I promised that I would change the code of conduct and the scheme of election. To that effect, we have been successful in changing both. Henceforth, every trustee's term will be a maximum of 2 terms of 5 years each, and more important, this election is now being monitored by a separate independent election commission. Going forward, any disputes between trustees themselves will also need to be settled by the trustees themselves. No court expenses can now be debited to the BPP's account. Additionally, I was very keen that my motto of bring your own water bottle is implemented. So henceforth, there will be no food packets, etc. being distributed for a Bombay Parsi Panchayat election. I'm hoping all these changes will enable us to take the community forward and bring younger and a better generation into the Panchayat in the future. So we have a vision for the Bombay Parsi Panchayat. We want to take the BPP forward. Not many people are aware, but the BPP today handles the whole of Dungarwadi. It handles 22 colonies with 4,400 flats. It's got 2 old age homes, basically Parak Dharamsala and Gamadea Health Unit. It manages 2 Agyaris, Godavara Agyari and the Godrej Bagh Agyari, and the boys hostel. Apart from this, the Bombay Parsi Panchayat also helps the Federation of Parsi Zoroastrian Anjumans of India to monitor all the properties which have been left outside of Bombay by Parsis. The BPP is a vast organization and we need to change how it works today. Unfortunately, over the past 6 years, the Bombay Parsi Panchayat has become an organization which is in a real financial mess. We don't have money today to pay salaries. It has been difficult. Our annual expenses are in the region of around 25 crores and our income is only around 12 to 13 crores. This gap over a period of time today has brought the BPP to a situation where we are struggling to even pay monthly salaries. We need to change this. We need the Bombay Parsi Panchayat to again become an apex body of the community which can blue sky for the community as a whole. The Panchayat needs a 20-year plan, a 15-year plan, a 5-year plan so that we can take this community forward. It should not only be talking about housing and Dungarwadi. There is much more to the community. Our youngsters need help. We need to start a couple of entrepreneurial programs. We need to start funding our entrepreneurs. We need to ensure that going forward the community can hold their youngsters within the community. The real need of the community today is to grow together. We need to change our past mentality and now move forward. It's very important that in the community today we understand what are our priorities. There are many challenges the community is facing. Litigation within the community is a different thing, but there are a lot of challenges which are coming outside the community. As you're aware, the Uniform Civil Code will be here soon. We have the Gulrup Gupta case. We have the Calcutta High Court matter. These are the issues the community should be dealing with. And to handle these issues in a unified manner, we need trustees who can work together. We need to ensure that there is unity of thought and purpose in the BPP, and that is the reason why I'm standing in a panel today so that I can take this vision forward. We are all professionals in our right and we are connected with various organizations. Our chairperson, Mrs. Tirandas, is on so many corporate trusts, etc. Viraf is connected in many ways. Maruk Noble is connected with many organizations. Rumi is on a couple. I'm connected on a lot of organizations. Within the community, we are auditors for a lot of Parsi trusts, Agyaris, Atas Berams, etc. And we bring this community participation to the BPP. We would like to bring the community within the BPP. The BPP is not just 7 trustees who know everything. We need to create an organization which brings specialists from their respective fields into the community. To this effect, we had created a consultative committee earlier of prominent 25, 26 prominent Parsis like Mr. Gazdar, Fali Poncha, Homa Petit, Hoshi Sinor, Mr. Yazdi Malegam, etc., who came forward to help the community deal with various issues. One important point to note in this consultative committee is that we had included every single ex-trustee, because just because they are no longer trustees of the BPP, we don't want to lose their expertise. It is important that we as a board use the best talent which is available in the community to resolve our problems together. This initiative sort of fell through because of COVID, but we are confident that going forward, once we are elected, we will restart this as well. We also want to bring the youth into the BPP. The youngsters of the community are the future. We need to make the BPP a transparent organization where people are confident and fearless to come and talk to the BPP board. This element આજે આપણે BPP સાથે કંઈ કરવું નથી has to change. આજે આપણે કમ્યુનિટી આગળ કરવા બચ્ચાઓને BPPમાં લાવવાની જરૂરત છે. એવો દિવસ થઈ ગયેલો છે that none of our kids want to associate with us. No other organization wants to come forward to help the BPP. Have we thought about why this is happening, guys? We need to change this. We need to change the image of the BPP. We need to change the method in which we are working, and to that effect we are creating transparency by having a website which will have all of the information in one place which is required. This kind of transparency is good. It will bring the community forward. It will tell the community what the BPP is doing. Unfortunately, the BPP does not communicate. The BPP doesn't tell people what it's doing. We used to have the BPP Review magazine, but unfortunately, due to various differences on the previous board, the BPP Review was stopped. So we are not getting information out to the community. We need to change that. We need to ensure that we communicate in a clear, concise and consistent manner with the community all the time. One of the things we are very keen on as a panel is to hold Anjuman meetings where we can interact with the community on a sustained basis. And we would like to do this in each of our colonies and bags. It's important so that everybody can interact personally with the BPP. It seems that a lot of people are intimidated by coming to the BPP's office, and we would like to bring this meetings to their colonies, to their associations, where we can interact with their associations, interact with their colony residents, and better understand what is lacking today. You know, I am very passionate about a specific issue as regards entrepreneurship in the community. I am the chairman of the World Zartusi Chamber of Commerce WZCC Mumbai chapter, and I really feel that we can push entrepreneurship onto our kids. You know, today's day and age is evolving a lot. Our kids have a lot of challenges. Those days when we Parsis were ahead of the curve are over. I think today we are lacking behind. We are not guiding our kids properly. We should have better guidance counselors. We should have people who are willing to guide them on their further education. We are having a lot of issues as regards marriages in the community. We need to have a platform where our kids can interact. Today, nearly 55% of Parsis in Bombay do not live in Parsi colonies. And where do they have an opportunity to interact with other Parsis? This is where organizations such as Zing, which was the youth arm of the Bombay Parsi Panchayat, needs to be encouraged and reinvigorated so that we can provide a platform where our kids can meet and interact and work together. I'm very passionate that we must take forward a community health insurance scheme. As you know, most of our community elders today have problems when they have to renew their annual Mediclaim. Okay, I definitely am always worried when my father's Mediclaim has to be reviewed in the months of February or March, because the insurance company doesn't give you an amount. It just asks you to send a blank check. Then you have to keep following whether cover has been given, policy has been issued, etc. We need to have a Mediclaim plan for the whole community so that our seniors are protected. We can give them better coverage. We can ensure that this stress of Mediclaim renewal, etc. is taken away. This is also important as majority of the Parsi population now lives north of Dadar, and they are not willing to come to our two community hospitals, which is either Parsi General Hospital or Masina, for treatment. They need to have best medical treatment in areas around where they live. This will be possible if we have a group Mediclaim plan. For ladies, and we are trying to encourage people to have more kids, then the maternity benefit, which is not available to you if you are on an individual health plan, will definitely be available to you when you are on this community group insurance. This group Mediclaim will allow ladies to take advantage of better prenatal, postnatal facilities, etc. It's a win-win for our community. This is an initiative I'm definitely keen that we will take forward in the next term if we are elected. Only way I think we can end the constant litigation in the community is by having a practical approach today. Unfortunately, in our country where litigation takes so long, just litigating within the community makes no sense. The Bombay Parsi Panchayat gets decrees which are enforced after 30 to 40 years. What is the point of having a decision after 30 or 40 years? We don't know what the future holds. All right, if we litigate within the community, we don't know where the community is going to be in the next 20, 30 years. We need to ensure that we have some systems that we can find solutions to this constant litigation with our own community members. To that effect, I'm happy to report that a young bunch of lawyers have happily come forward to mediate and arbitrate with us to end these constant litigations. We are hoping that if we can bring them in, we can find some solutions. There are a lot of locked flats in our community, and the only way to end this is to find some solutions which are viable. You know, the other day, our chairperson, Armaiti, mentioned that in these 13 years which she's been on the board, there are only 3 or 4 cases she can recall where somebody has come back and voluntarily surrendered their house back to the BPP for free. Please understand, 3 or 4 cases out of the 4,400 houses we have. Please understand, folk, nobody is coming forward today to voluntary surrender. We have around 300 odd flats which are locked up, they are in litigation, or we are in the process of serving them notice, etc. We need to bring these people onto the table. We need to find some solutions with them so that we can free this whole stock of housing. Currently, there is a shortfall of nearly 600 odd flats in the community. Imagine if at one stroke we can start dealing with this litigation and get at least 100, 200 flats in. This will really help us in cutting down the shortfall. Today, the community has an opportunity to ensure that we have like-minded people who can represent the community to the outside world. Here I am with my co-panelists, and I really feel that we are the right blend of both age and youngsters to ensure that we can take this forward. Mrs. Tirandaz, who's the most senior person in our panel, is 77 years old, and Viraf, who's the youngest, is 44 years. I think we have the right blend of experience as well as passion to take the BPP forward. I would request all of you to come out in large numbers on May 29th, and please vote for Mrs. Armaiti Tirandaz, Mr. Viraf Mehta, Mr. Rumi Zarir, Ms. Maruk Noble, and me, Xerxes Vispi Dastur. Thank you very much.